I was going to say that's what we need. You know, fired up, ready to go. But as Lori said, we've launched a campaign. Feel really good about it. Feels like it's been going on for about a year, but it really hasn't. It's just a couple of months. But one of the reasons I decided to run for county executive, we took about a year to go around the state and just look at whether, in fact, you know, it made sense. Quite honestly, did it make sense for me, for my family, for the things that I wanted to do in the county, and did I have a passion to do it? I knew I wanted to be county executive. I mean, I knew that after 4 years in Annapolis, because I looked at Prince George's County and I looked at the opportunities that we have here, and I felt like, especially under Wayne Curry, I felt like if we built upon those opportunities, Prince George's County could really live up to its potential. But we needed to correct a couple of things. Our education system, we needed to really focus on economic development in a different way than we had in the county. And so I knew what I wanted to do here. And I was blessed to get the job. It took me 3 times, but I was blessed to get it. I don't know if I would have wanted it under the circumstances that they finally gave it to me, you know. Because you think about it, like 7 years ago, Prince George's County, we had a foreclosure crisis, which certainly you know here at Keller Williams. We were under the biggest ethical scandal that this state has ever seen since Marvin Mandel. Businesses, as Lori said, would not come here. They felt like they weren't going to get a fair shake, and that the permitting process was too long. And then we had a snowstorm, then we had a derecho, and then we had an earthquake, and we had all those things that came in when I was here. But I knew if we focus on how to turn the county around, we could do it. And just think about it, 7 years later, you know, I don't think anybody would have guessed this. You know, we, for the 3rd quarter in a row, Prince George's County leads the state in job creation. Not even by a little bit, but in Donald Trump's words, by a lot. A bunch. The closest competitor we have is Anne Arundel County. We lead them by 40%. We create more jobs than anybody else in this state. That wouldn't have happened 7 years ago. We're going to do $7 to $8 billion worth of development in Prince George's County over these next 5 years in every part of our state, every part of our county. There's no part that's not developing. Our education system, while it has problems, has improved. There are more children going back into our public education system. We've seen our test scores rise. You look at crime, we're at a 30-year low in homicides and violent crime in the county. That's historic, and it's continued, it's not turned back since we've done that. And healthcare. You know, not far from here, this whole area will become really, really, so if you own property around Largo, any place around here, you know, keep it. Because with the hospital coming in, the brand new county administration, Wayne Curry County Administration building will be right down the street. The boulevard will be redeveloped, so the mixed use in Largo is going to happen here. But it's not just going to be here, it's going to be in New Carrollton. You know, you look at Suitland, which is my favorite project. I think it's the biggest, you know, hidden gem we have here in the county. And that's going to be developed. So you look at all these things and you're thinking, you know, quite honestly, I'm really tired. And I said, you know, do you really want to do run for governor? And what would you want to do if you did run for governor? And I started traveling around the state, and you would meet people, and you know, they were nice, but you could see the anxiety in their faces. You know, you could see that people felt like, okay, I'm in it by myself. Nobody really understands it. Everybody running for office comes in, they say the same thing. They say, you know, we're all for improving schools. Every politician, I haven't run to one that hasn't run on education. But I have not seen a lot that's willing to put their political career on the line to improve education like we did in Prince George's County. That's the difference. Can you hold up to the promises? And so for me, I was getting frustrated by seeing that what we had was a governor that really was not taking on any of the real challenges. The easy stuff he would do. The difficult stuff that may be controversial were left here. You think about it, it's taken us 2 years extra to build this hospital because the governor decided when he came into office, he needed to study a project that we've been looking at for 30 years for 2 more additional years. The Purple Line, which is going to create jobs and opportunities throughout not just Prince George's County, but this state. Something that we looked at going back to the Glendenning administration that we've been working on. Everything there, federal funding, everything, and the governor decides, I need to study it. Well, his studying it cost Prince Georgians $20 million extra. It cost people in Montgomery County $40 million extra to put into a statewide project. So what that means is, on all of the things, education, funding, right now, he has not provided education funding throughout the state the way it should. We're at a critical point where we're going to determine statewide how we're actually going to give money. So your tax dollars goes to the state first, and then they decide what they're going to give back. And we need more of it back here in Prince George's County. We need more of it back in Baltimore City. We need more of it back in the Eastern Shore of Western Maryland and Montgomery County. But the governor hasn't made decisions on that. So I looked at that, and I looked at my experiences, you know, having served 8 years in Annapolis, having actually passed legislation on from the House to the Senate side, having served as county executive for you know, almost 7 years now. And I looked at the field of people who were running, and I said, you know what? I think I could do a good job as governor. I think the things that we've done here in Prince George's County, because Lori had it right, it really is Maryland in miniature. If you're in the rural areas, we certainly got rural areas here. If you're in suburban, we got suburban. If you got urban, you want urban, we got urban. So when I go across the state, when people say, well, what do you know about the rural area? I said, believe me, I got more agricultural land than any other place outside of Western Maryland. Right here, we are. We're the second largest agricultural place. We have historic places that you go down. You know, suburban, that's what we were. We were a bedroom community. And now we're becoming more urban. And so those issues that face us across the state are right here. We're the second largest jurisdiction. We're the most complex there is. And yet we're outpacing other places. Well, we can do that. If you can do it right here in Prince George's County, there's no reason why you can't do it in Frederick or Western Maryland. And I told them, there's no reason why you can't figure out how we create jobs on the Eastern Shore so people don't have to leave where they want to live. And those are the things that I want to do as governor. But you have to be willing to take risks. Now, of all the things people are going to say about me in this election, the one thing they're not going to say is I didn't take risks. I think every single day, I think I've got a staff full of people who are just really said, you know what, can we just take it easy? Because the first thing that we put in the first bill that I put in the county was not in the county council. We actually went to the state and did something no other jurisdiction has ever done before. And that is, we asked them to reform our ethics laws so that the county executive and the county council could not get campaign funds from developers. Now, it sounds like common sense. If you're developing a project, what you want really for the county is a good project that creates jobs and opportunities. Not a project where if you give me money, I'll approve it. So we took it away. Now, there were 9 members of the council who didn't like that. But what it said to businesses was we were serious about development, not about asking you for campaign funds. Now, does my campaign staff like it now that I'm running for governor? I can't take development money? That would be no. But what I've said to them, if we wouldn't have the growth in this county if we hadn't done that, because everybody thought this is a place where they would shake you down. And we're like, no, we can't. We can't take money from you. So either you got a good project or you don't. You're going to create jobs or you won't. We created a $50 million development incentive fund in the county. And we did it when we were at a deficit in the county, $75 million budget deficit. In the midst of a recession, what we decided as an administration, or I decided, as they like to tell me, at the time, now everybody that likes the idea, but at the time to me was the only way we were going to get people interested in Prince George's County was to show them we were willing to invest in ourselves. So the largest incentive fund was the state at $70 million. And then Baltimore County at 10. We did $50 million. And people thought we were absolutely insane. But what it said to the business community and to developers was that we believe so much in ourselves that we're willing to invest. So imagine if the state had come in on a project like New Carrollton and said, in addition to you investing in there, we're going to invest our dollars. How far we would have been. Or a place like Suitland. Or a place like, Frederick in Western Maryland. Or Rocky Gap. or the Eastern Shore, where you're combining the resources of the state and saying, here, how do we create jobs? It's risky, yes, but if we believe that we should be number one and are number one in the county and in the state, then we can do that. And it's worked for us. I'll close with this, one of my favorite stories. About a month ago or 2 months ago, I think we were down in National Harbor, and the governor from Virginia was there, and they were giving out these awards. And so somebody thought it'd be a great idea. You got the Democratic governor from Virginia, and the county executive, you know, I'm running for governor, I just announced. They thought it'd be nice to have us sit together. And so they went to introduce me to him. I had met him briefly before, but I really didn't, you know him. And they said, you know, Governor McCollum, this is Rushern Baker, he's going to be running for governor. And he said, Virginia is kicking Maryland's ass in job creation. Like that. Not hi, hello, how are you doing? He just like came out, I was like, whoa. Took me a little while. I kind of stepped back and I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, no. You're kicking Maryland's ass, but Prince George's County is kicking your ass. Because you look at National Harbor, the people who are moving into National Harbor, who are shopping at National Harbor, who are coming over to the Tanger and other places now, are all coming from Virginia. They'll have Virginia license plates. That did not happen. If you don't believe me, go down to Tanger, go to MGM, and then look at the license plates. And so what I wanted, and I reminded him, there was a reason why he traveled from Richmond to National Harbor for that event. You wouldn't have had that 7 years ago. So what it means is that the state could be the same way. There is no reason in a wealthy, educated state we shouldn't be leading the nation in job creation. We have all the tools here. What we need to be able to do is to take the risk, and that's what I want to do. And I feel good about the campaign. And